Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Forsaken reaction. Today we have one as requested by Deathbringer in the comments of the last video, and this is Living Legend. It's apparently a really popular chase theme to the point where we had 240 plus likes on that last comment, as well as this almost having 10 million views, which is like a wild amount of views. I consistently forget how many people play and interact with like the community of Roblox stuff, and it's wild to me that something like this has that many views. But at the same time, I suppose there's got to be a reason for it. So without further ado, let's go. All right. So we're going to be like adding on to the song throughout the intro. Ooh. That's a chuggy guitar. Is that a guitar? It might just be a really distorted piano. Maybe a layer of both. I kind of like this jazzy bass line too. Didn't really anticipate that sound, but here we are. Now, where's it gonna go, though? That's always the question. Okay. It's a fun drum beat to throw on there. Stutter is kind of fun, too. Okay, we're doing more. I wasn't sure if it was just gonna loop that a bunch. There was like a melody lead in there. Woo! Solo time. Okay. Really liking the pitch bends on there. Nice attention to the detail on the solo. There's a little bit of a slow whammy bar there. Like, ew, ew, ew. Might have just been the mix though. I really like those pitch bends. They're very well placed. Right at the end of the phrase. Ooh. Okay. All right, that was fun. Throw on a pass filter, why not? Ooh. It ends so abruptly. Okay, I do have some thoughts. Overall, really fun, but of course, as is the case with some of these Roblox songs, there's production issues overall. I think in general, this one was a really good song, especially for a chase. It had the energy to it. I loved the bass line. That was a very jazzy dun, 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 dun. That's super common in jazz. You're constantly hearing that sort of pattern in jazz, more specifically the dun, 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 and it's just kind of loops through that. This is just a variant of that, but I appreciate it because it keeps things simple. It's a rock solid bass line, and everything else can sit on top of it comfortably without any worry of too much crosstalk in the bass line itself. However, unfortunately, there was a lot of crosstalk and a lot of general mix problems with this one. The lead, especially, all of the guitar leads, every solo, that one little melody lead that it had before the solo came in, were entirely buried underneath the rest of the song. that's just a production problem. I think the solo, from what I could hear of it, sounded fun. I liked the pitch bends. I liked the general direction of it. It wasn't too complex, but also it tried more than just the standard being too safe sort of approach a lot of people end up taking, especially early in their production careers. A lot of amateur producers are very afraid of trying different things and being a little bit more experimental with stuff, and this felt a little bit more bold with that, where like there was movement happening, there was scales happening, there was an attempt to like make more happen on this solo, and it wasn't just how do I play Smoke on the Water, it just trying to keep the most simple, basic, bare bones stuff down. They were having fun with this, and I could tell. Unfortunately, a lot of that was left to the side because the production was fairly poor. And that's a bummer, because I think this song has a lot more potential than what it ended up having. And that is a bummer, because I feel like if this song were to get a remaster by somebody who's a little bit more versed in how to mix and master songs, it would be a little bit more prolific in the scene. I'm not surprised it has this much attention. Like I said, it's a very good production. For the few songs I've heard from Roblox overall, this one's pretty up there as far as just the like amateur production goes, but it still is lacking entirely on that mix side. The production and the writing itself, the composition itself, is really good and definitely up there with some of the better ones I've heard out of the game. Putting aside like the professional musicians that some people have hired for their tracks, that's a different category. But for those who I can tell are newer to the scene and aren't quite finding their groove in the technical aspect of music, this is a really good song. It had a really decent evolution from that first phase into the main beef of the song. We had that like the drum pattern kick in. I did not expect that specific drum pattern to show up, so like that was fun. That kind of caught me off guard on the creative aspect. And again, everything else, like the details are there. The concept is here. It just now needs to be brought up with the technical side of it. Getting all of that mixing figured out, figuring all of that out is the next step. Once that happens, this producer's off to the races. I also don't know how old this song is. I didn't look at the upload date or anything, so it's possible this song is a little bit older, and much like many other producers I've talked about on this channel through the Roblox stuff, a lot of the songs are a little bit older and the producers have improved by the time I've gotten around to them, and I totally understand that, so I like to make light of that when I do these videos. Okay, quick cut in here. I just looked at the upload date. It was like March of this year, so clearly not the oldest song possible. It's definitely possible they could improve their mix since then. Plenty of time between then and now, but it's also fresh enough that I don't think that would have changed enough, you know? Maybe, but it really just, it lands on experience at that point. If it was a few years old, I would totally understand if there was like a significant upgrade in their technical skill to this point, but being from March of this year, less likely, but still possible. So I don't know, like, again, that's really the only thing about this song that I don't like. The rest of it was fun. It had a good evolution, it had a good structure, it just needs a little bit more attention on the mix. Once that's covered, everything's off to the races for this producer. I feel like if this is one of their first songs, or like they're just kind of starting to get more into the weeds of music production and this is where they're coming from, they've got a pretty bright career looking forward. So I wish them the best of luck. Obviously, I'm sure I'll probably end up hearing more from them in the future as long as they keep it up, and I suppose that's about all I gotta say on this one. So thank you all so very much for watching. If you have any requests for songs from Roblox, it doesn't have to be Forsaken, it can be from any game that you play and you think that I should listen to it and give my opinions on it, you could drop those in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to those. Or if you just enjoyed this video and you want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see all of you in the next video. Goodbye! Yeah, really? Yeah, in the middle of my video? This thing. Showing up right as I finish my video. Of course, right?